Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Wegmans Meals to Go.
Light rain showers on the way for your Sunday, but the Monday snow showers is what my forecast will focus on coming up.
Also, a community forum to educate the public about pre-trial diversion programs, how they can help those accused. Plus, it's National Diabetes Month, how a local program is educating and getting folks moving.
From the team you can trust, this is News 8 at 6.
Good evening. Officials involved in the court system held a forum today to educate the public about pre-trial diversion programs. These programs allow the accused to get help and in some cases clear their record. Atia Collins has more.
For many people accused of a crime, they may think there's only two options, to be found guilty or not guilty. However, pretrial diversion programs offer another option to those going through the court system. In New York, people accused of misdemeanor crimes who have no significant criminal history can take part in a pretrial diversion program. The person will have to complete a tailored program based on their charges, like going to drug abuse counseling or completing community services. Once complete, the charges may be dismissed and even removed from their record. Those at this forum say while many people are benefiting from the program, there's a need for more information in order to make a bigger impact. The group talked about how to educate the community on these options and also how to improve access to those from low-income Black communities.
These kinds of forums are the beginning of building a new trust within the community and the police and law enforcement and the courts.
Monroe County Sheriff Todd Baxter also talked about what they are doing at the county jail to improve access to the programs. He said they are giving people rides right from release from the jail to their diversion programs in an attempt to get more people to go. In the newsroom, Atia Collins, back to you, Christian.
All right, thanks, Atia. A community member who attended the forum said at the end of it she felt empowered to do more. We'll have more from those at the forum tonight at 11. National Diabetes Month kicked off this week. According to the CDC, 1/3 of American adults have pre-diabetes and don't know it. In Rochester, there's a program to help educate and get folks moving, helping reverse some of those numbers. The Diabetes Prevention Program uses Exercise Express to help those with diabetes, specifically type 2, and those in danger of developing diabetes, a way to remedy it through exercise. But it goes beyond that.
They talk about how you can shop, they talk about portion size and control. It's basically a way of life.
Teresa Woodson says the exercise component, coupled with the lifestyle changes, lead to weight loss. Ron Allen has a family history of diabetes and has been coming here for 2 years.
I got in the program because I just wanted to get it.
Allen says the program is therapeutic on many levels.
Good ways, for us to socialize and also have a goal that, help prevent diabetes. You got your weights, your stretching and stuff like that. So some of the older people, some in the 70s and 80s that can't, move that much and stuff, they can get involved in it.
And those there say once you get moving, you'll make exercise, eating right, and preventing diabetes a way of life.
That's really why I've come and why I stay, and I encourage people to come. Come on down, you'll love it. We have a great time.
The Diabetes Prevention Program is offered at the Center for Community Health and Prevention. More info on that with this article at rochesterfirst.com. To take on the growing epidemic of childhood obesity in the U.S., the AAP supports expanded access to weight loss surgery for adolescents. According to a report, rates of severe obesity have nearly doubled since 1999. The AAP released a policy statement saying metabolic and bariatric surgery is a, quote, safe and effective strategy for groups of youth with severe obesity. A local doctor with URMC says there may be ways to prevent this.
I think it's really important to put this in that context, that yes, there is opportunity. It's something that may need to be done, but exceedingly rare. But we need to be able to offer lifestyle interventions, family level interventions, and not just offer them ahead of time, but during, if they require surgery, as well as after.
In multiple studies cited by the AAP, they say adolescent patients who underwent the surgery showed improvements in both weight reduction and other associated health problems. Today, Lollipop Farms hosted its third annual Animal Crimes Conference. At the conference, people learn from animal and law enforcement experts about New York animal rights laws and the process for examining animal crimes. They say many people don't realize that investigating animal cruelty relies on a collaboration in the community. A national veterinary forensic expert also discussed the impacts of veterinarians in animal crime investigations.
So in order for us as cruelty investigators to put a case together, we need a veterinarian to tell us what was going on with the animal. In human investigations, you can talk to the victim, where here when we're dealing with animals, we cannot talk to animals, so the vet actually is speaking for the animal.
Just yesterday, the U.S. Senate passed a bill that would punish people who make animal cruelty videos. The bill still needs to be signed by the president before it goes into effect. Construction Rochester's 12th annual design build competition kicked off earlier today. 9 local teams designed and are constructing giant sculptures made entirely out of canned food. The sculptures will be on display at the Strong National Museum of Play for the next 2 weeks. This year's theme was Heroes and Villains, with sculptures featuring Jafar from Aladdin and little BB-8 there from Star Wars.
I think the important thing here is the amount of time and effort that goes into these structures, and what it really results in is how much food. We're almost at about 34,000 cans. One team has almost 7,000 cans in their sculpture, and all of that gets food donated, which is really a big can drive for anybody to get 7,000 cans together and donate it.
The competition is a major food drive for FoodLink. Since 2006, it has resulted in over 300,000 pounds of donated food for local families. The Buffalo Bills are in Cleveland before they face the Cleveland Browns. Sports Director Thad Brown is at First Energy Stadium, where the Bills are prepping for the game tomorrow.
The Bills' struggling run defense will already have plenty to worry about in Browns running back Nick Chubb here tomorrow in Cleveland. But the Browns also get Kareem Hunt back from an 8-game domestic abuse suspension against the Bills. Buffalo understands that Hunt won't just present a problem, but it'll be a problem for them specifically.
When you have a talent like that, you're going to probably try to insert him some way. I don't know how much he's going to play, obviously, with Chubb, but I'm pretty sure they've seen that we struggle with some of the 20 fast stuff. That's when you have 2 backfields in the backfield, and probably we'll try to use some of those similar runs to make sure that we got it fitted up right. But yeah, he's a guy that we know they're going to probably insert in there, but probably mainly see Chubb and then some doses here and there of Kareem Hunt.
Browns head coach Freddie Kitchens said Hunt, quote, will have a role tomorrow against the Bills. He lauded Hunt's ability as a receiver out of the backfield and even joked he might go with some wishbone offense using both Hunt and Chubb at the same time. Your Bills coverage begins right here tomorrow on News 8 with Buffalo kickoff live at 11:30, and then the only place you can see the Bills and the Browns on News 8 kickoff is at 1 p.m. At First Energy Stadium in Cleveland with the Bills Report, I'm Thad Brown.
All right, Thad, thanks so much. We'll have more on the game coming up in sports at 11 tonight. A former NASA astronaut and Bishop Kearney alum was honored at the school's annual fundraising gala tonight. Colonel Pamela Melroy has been launched into space 3 times between the years 2000 and 2007. This year's theme was Walking on the Moon, as a dedication to the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. The gala took place right at the high school gymnasium there. Pamela explained how the school helped her get to where she is today.
I do think that Bishop Kearney played a very important role for me. It's a values-driven school, and so those values have been very important to me as an astronaut going forward. People ask me all the time, how do you become an astronaut? And I say, well, you have to have a great technical skill, but oh, by the way, you have to be the quality of person that somebody would put their lives into your hands, or perhaps go on a 2-year trip to Mars with. And when you stop and think about that, that's actually about personal qualities and personal values.
The gala also featured rocket models, a replica of a $75,000 spacesuit, as well as a silent auction. And here's James with a check of the weather. James, I heard more white stuff is on the way.
Oh, yeah, Christian, that is exactly right. Looks like on Veterans Day. We'll call it a snow event Monday night and into Tuesday. Yeah, 4, 5, 6+ inches for just about everybody. Get prepared. Tomorrow is your day. Do some final raking. Make sure you got your brush by your side, the shovel ready. Yep. It's happening a little early, sure, but not unusual. 4, 5, 6 plus inches going to be possible as we get into, again, Monday night and Tuesday. Futurecast here showing a couple of raindrops as the storm system starts to organize. We'll see that as we get into the evening, and watch as we see this zone of precipitation transition overnight, tomorrow night, Sunday and into Monday, from rain showers to light snow showers. Issues Monday morning, I don't think significant. Snow falling, I don't think it's sticking quite yet. But as we get into the afternoon, I think the Monday evening commute, that one could be a little bit difficult. Of course, Veterans Day here. I think the snow ramps up Monday night and into Tuesday. Maybe that's where some of the heaviest snow falls, and then could make for a little bit of a slick commute Tuesday as we head back to work and school there. Projected snowfall, I do think we see a lot of folks, 6, 7, 8 inches possible south of the Thruway around Rochester, greater Rochester area. Let's call it half a foot of snow. Going to be possible, again, plus or minus, still 36, 48 hours away from when we really see that snow fall. So things will change. Rain Sunday afternoon. That transitions over to snow. Expect that through the day on Monday, off and on. Heaviest stuff overnight Monday and into Tuesday, and then a bitter cold work week for you all week long. Brutal numbers here. Look at Tuesday, 25 for an afternoon high, overnight lows in the teens. Several records will potentially be broken as we get into next week with these numbers here. So for sure, an early season storm, and we have not even gotten to Thanksgiving, Christian.
Chilly Willy on Monday, Tuesday rather, looks like 25 degrees.
Yeah, and that means that anything that falls will stick around with us. It's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
James, I appreciate the honest forecast. Thanks so much.
You got it, man.
Thank you so much. That's it for News 8 Web Edition. See you right back here at 11.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and our apps for both news and weather.